Little Italy, Lower Manhattan, New York City, February 1971. Wednesday afternoon, just after 3 o'clock. Mulberry Street is silent. When Mulberry Street goes quiet in the middle of the day, it means the 5 families are meeting. Real business. The kind that determines who lives and who dies. At Rao's, the legendary Italian restaurant, a private event sign hangs on the door. Inside, Vincent, the Chin Gigante, holds court. 42 years old, already a legend, the real power behind the Genovese family. He sits at the best table in the back, hands folded on white tablecloth, dark eyes, missing nothing. Around him sit 6 capos representing different territories and revenue streams. Salvatore, Sally, Maranzano, runs gambling in Chinatown. Angelo, the Bull Ferrara, handles union negotiations. Carmine, Red, Santoro, oversees numbers rackets. Dominic, the Blade Russo, manages legitimate fronts. Marco, the priest, Benedetti, mediates disputes. Giuseppe, Joey Shoes, Luciano provides counsel. These 7 men control millions and can make problems disappear. Today's problem: Bruce Lee. This Chinese kung fu instructor, Vincent says, Bronx accent thick. This little guy weighing maybe 130 pounds? This is what we're discussing? Sally shifts uncomfortably. Vincent, it's not about size. He opened a school on Canal Street, my Chinatown. Teaches anyone, doesn't respect boundaries, doesn't ask permission. And this affects us how? Sally's voice rises. Chinatown is ours. We have arrangements. Chinese gangs pay tribute. But Bruce Lee is disrupting that, making them think they don't need our protection, giving them confidence. Worse, he's attracting attention. Steve McQueen visits his school. James Coburn. When Hollywood pays attention, when media writes stories, that's bad for our business. Angelo grunts agreement. The Chinese aren't as cooperative, late with payments, asking questions, pushing back. Started when Bruce Lee opened his school. He's giving them courage. Vincent listens, face showing nothing. What's he teaching? Jeet Kune Do. Dominic consults a notebook. His own system. But the philosophy is the problem. He teaches confidence, self-respect, independence. Tells them they don't need to fear anyone. That size doesn't matter. Technique beats strength. He's literally teaching the Chinese community to not be afraid of us. Vincent nods slowly. This is about what Bruce Lee represents. A challenge to authority. An erosion of fear. Without fear, there's no control. Has anyone tried talking to him? Sally shakes his head. I sent Tony Bags and little Nicky 2 weeks ago. Very polite. Explained Chinatown has rules. Suggested he pay monthly tribute or partner with us. And? He said no. Just like that. No negotiation. Said he doesn't need protection because he can protect himself. Doesn't pay tribute because he's not doing anything wrong. Then said, if we have a problem, we're welcome to try closing him down ourselves. He invited us to start something. Angelo slams the table. That's disrespect. Nobody talks to us like that. Burn his school tonight. Marco intervenes. Bruce Lee isn't some random immigrant. He's famous. Was Kato on The Green Hornet. Teaches celebrities. If something happens, there'll be attention. Police, media, federal. Giuseppe adds, when we acted on emotion instead of strategy, we ended up in wars that cost money, men, territory. We need to be smart. Vincent weighs arguments. If we do nothing, we look weak. The Chinese see Bruce Lee said no, and nothing happened. That spreads. Fear and respect are our foundation. We can't let one man undermine that. Vincent's face hardens. I want him gone, not arrested, gone, permanently. Make it look like a robbery gone wrong. Random violence, but the message gets sent. The table goes quiet. Killing a celebrity comes with risks. But Vincent has spoken. I'll handle it, Sally says. My territory, my responsibility. No, Vincent says. You're too emotional. Carmine, this is yours. 3 guys, maximum. Make it look random. Do it this week. Carmine nods. By Friday, Bruce Lee is a memory. Meanwhile, 12 blocks north in Harlem, Bumpy Johnson sits at his desk reviewing numbers. 64 years old, a living legend who's survived decades in a business where most don't survive years. His second-in-command, Freddie, enters urgently. Boss, the Italians are planning a hit. Bruce Lee. He opened a school in their territory, told them to fuck off. Gigante wants him dead. Bumpy sets down papers. Bruce Lee. 3 months ago, Bumpy's nephew Marcus was being threatened by gangs. Bruce Lee took Marcus in, taught him confidence and self-respect. Within 2 months, Marcus stood up to the gang. They backed off. Marcus now works legitimately, attends community college. All because Bruce helped when no one else would. Bumpy had offered payment. Bruce's response? Your nephew is a good kid. Helping good kids is what I do. No payment necessary. That impressed Bumpy. Everyone wanted something. But Bruce operated on principle, not profit. Get me everything, Bumpy orders. Who's running the hit? When? Where? Boss, why get involved? He's not one of ours. Bumpy stands. Because that man helped Marcus when he didn't have to. Because he operates with honor. And because if the Italians think they can kill whoever they want in Chinatown, what stops them in Harlem? Bruce Lee is under my protection. Anyone who touches him, touches me. 2 days later, Thursday evening, Carmine drives through Lower Manhattan with Paulie Conti and Frankie DeLuca. Experienced, professional killers. The plan? Wait until Bruce closes at 9 p.m., follow to his car, stage robbery, shoot him. Tragic random violence. They park half a block from the school on Canal Street. Through the window, they see Bruce teaching 15 students. He's small, much smaller than expected. Easy. At 8:50 p.m., class ends. Students bow and leave. Carmine watches. Paulie and Frankie check guns. Then something unexpected. A black Cadillac pulls up directly in front of the school. Every criminal in New York knows that car. Bumpy Johnson's. Bumpy steps out in dark suit and fedora, carrying his signature cane. 4 armed men follow. Carmine's stomach drops. What the fuck is Bumpy Johnson doing here? They watch Bumpy walk into the school. Inside, Bruce looks up surprised. Mr. Johnson, this is unexpected. You helped my nephew Marcus, Bumpy says without preamble. 3 months ago. Kid was in trouble. You straightened him out. Didn't ask for anything. I appreciate that. Marcus is a good kid. He just needed guidance. Now I'm here to help you. There's a car down the street. 3 Italian guys here to kill you. Contract from Gigante. You refused tribute. Now they want you dead. Bruce's expression doesn't change. No fear, just processing. And you're telling me because? Because you're under my protection. Anyone who wants to kill you goes through me. The Italians know better than to start a war with Harlem over one Chinese martial artist. I don't need protection. I can take care of myself. Bumpy smiles. I know, but this isn't about fighting. They were planning to shoot you. 3 guns beats any kung fu, so you need protection, whether you want it or not. Bruce considers. Proud, independent, but practical and smart. Thank you. I'm in your debt. No, you're not. You helped Marcus for free. I'm helping you for free. That's how honor works. No debt, just respect. Bumpy walks out. His men follow. They approach Carmine's car. Bumpy taps the window with his cane. Carmine rolls it down. Mr. Johnson, what brings you to Chinatown? You know exactly why. Bruce Lee is off limits. He's under Harlem's protection. You touch him, you start a war. Not with the Chinese, with me. Vincent sent you, and I'm talking to Vincent tomorrow. But you leave. Right now. Carmine's hand moves toward his gun. Bumpy's 4 men instantly have weapons pointed at the car. Don't be stupid. You're outnumbered and outgunned. Vincent made a move without checking angles. Drive away. Carmine starts the car. Vincent's going to hear about this. I'm counting on it. Tell him I'll be at Rouse tomorrow at noon. He can buy me lunch. The car pulls away. Bumpy turns back. Bruce stands in the doorway watching. The 2 men nod. Understanding reached. Respect given and received. The next day at noon, Bumpy walks into Rouse. Vincent is already there, alone except for 2 bodyguards. Bumpy sits without being invited. Vincent, we need to talk about Bruce Lee. So I heard. You embarrassed my guys, made me look weak. That wasn't my intention. Bruce Lee helped my nephew. That puts him under my protection. It's personal. Everything's personal until it becomes business. He disrespected us, operates in our territory without permission. Here's what I propose. His school is on Canal Street, between your territory and mine. What if we declare it neutral ground? He doesn't pay tribute to you or me, just teaches martial arts, minds his business. In exchange, if trouble comes from martial arts students or Chinese gangs, Bruce helps us deal with it. Shared resource, someone who can navigate the Chinese community better than either of us. Vincent considers. Better than a war. Better than looking weak. Better than killing a celebrity and dealing with attention. Having Bruce Lee as a resource could be valuable. And if he refuses, then I handle it. But he won't. He's smart enough to recognize a good deal. Vincent extends his hand. We have an agreement. Bruce Lee lives. His school is neutral territory. They shake hands. The war that almost happened is avoided. 2 men from different worlds finding common ground through respect and practical wisdom. Bruce Lee, unaware his fate was decided over lunch, continues teaching. He'll learn about the agreement later from Bumpy and accept it. Not because he's afraid, but because he's wise enough to know some battles are won through diplomacy, through respect, through understanding that honor matters more than pride. That evening, Bumpy visits Bruce's school again. Bruce is cleaning up after the last class, wiping down mirrors, organizing equipment with the same precision he brings to everything. Mr. Johnson, Bruce says, bowing respectfully, I had a feeling you'd return. I had lunch with Vincent Gigante today, Bumpy says. We came to an arrangement. Your school is now neutral territory. You don't pay tribute to the Italians or to me. You just do what you do. Teach your martial arts. Help your students. In exchange, if either of us has trouble with the Chinese community, martial arts students, anything in that world, you help us navigate it. Be a consultant. A bridge. Bruce listens carefully, understanding the implications. And if I refuse? Then I deal with it, Bumpy says honestly. But I'm hoping you won't. Because this protects you while letting you do what you love. Teaching, making a difference. That's all you really want, isn't it? Bruce nods slowly. It is, and I accept your arrangement. Not because I'm afraid of the Italians or of you, but because it's a smart solution that prevents unnecessary violence. I respect that, and I respect you for finding it. There's one more thing, Bumpy says. Marcus wants to thank you personally. He's doing well, got promoted at his job, making the dean's list at school. His whole life turned around because you took the time to teach him. That matters, more than you know. Bruce smiles slightly. Marcus did the work. I just showed him the way. That's what teaching is. Not giving someone the answer, but showing them they already have the strength to find it themselves. Bumpy regards Bruce with something like admiration. You're different from most people I meet in this city. Most people want something. Money, power, protection, connections. You just want to teach to help people be better. That's rare. That's worth protecting. And you're different from your reputation, Bruce says. People say you're ruthless, dangerous. But you came to help me because I helped your nephew. That's not ruthless. That's honorable. I can be both, Bumpy says. Ruthless to my enemies. Honorable to those who deserve it. The world isn't black and white. It's complicated. And survival means understanding when to be what. They shake hands. A genuine connection between two men who live in completely different worlds but share the same code. Honor, respect, loyalty, taking care of your people, standing up for what's right, even when it's dangerous. Over the next months, the arrangement works perfectly. Bruce's school thrives. Students come from all backgrounds, all neighborhoods. He teaches them martial arts, yes, but also philosophy, discipline, respect. The Chinese community grows stronger, more confident, but also more organized, more peaceful. When disputes arise, Bruce mediates. When the Italians or Bumpy need to understand something about the Chinese gangs or tongs, Bruce explains. He becomes exactly what Bumpy predicted. A bridge, a consultant, a man who can navigate multiple worlds. Bumpy and Bruce develop a genuine friendship. They meet for tea occasionally, discussing philosophy, strategy, the nature of power and respect. Bumpy learns about martial arts philosophy. Bruce learns about the realities of organized crime, the codes that govern that world. Each man teaches the other. Sometimes Marcus joins them, grateful to both men for the paths they've shown him. He sees in them two different approaches to the same principles. Strength, honor, protecting your community, standing up for what's right. One afternoon, they sit in a small tea house in Chinatown. Bumpy, Bruce, and Marcus. The conversation turns to legacy, to what they'll leave behind when they're gone. What do you want people to remember about you? Marcus asks Bruce. Bruce thinks for a long moment. I don't want them to remember me at all. I want them to remember what I taught them. That they have power within themselves. That size and circumstances don't determine outcome. That water can wear down stone with patience and persistence. That's what matters. Not me, the principles. And you, Mr. Johnson? Marcus asks. Bumpy chuckles. I want people to remember that Bumpy Johnson kept his word. That he protected his community. That he understood honor matters more than money. I've done things I'm not proud of, but I've also stood up when it mattered. Protected people who couldn't protect themselves. That's what I want remembered. Marcus looks at both men. You're more alike than you realize. You both believe in something bigger than yourselves. You both protect people. You both operate by codes that most people don't understand anymore. Bruce and Bumpy exchange glances, seeing truth in Marcus's observation. "The kid's got wisdom," Bumpy says. "Wonder where he learned that?" "From his uncle," Bruce says with a slight smile. "And from his teacher," Bumpy replies. They laugh, these three men from different generations and backgrounds, connected by respect and shared values. Vincent Gigante, initially skeptical of the arrangement, comes to appreciate its value. The Chinese community becomes easier to work with. Conflicts that would have escalated get resolved peacefully. And occasionally, when one of his guys needs to learn how to actually fight, instead of just looking tough, Vincent sends them to Bruce, who teaches them with the same dedication he shows all his students. One day, about 6 months after the arrangement was made, Vincent himself visits Bruce's school. Not to threaten, not to collect, just to watch. He stands in the back, observing as Bruce teaches a class that includes a young black kid from Harlem, an Italian teenager from the Bronx, a Chinese immigrant, and a Jewish college student. All of them learning together, all of them treating each other with respect. Vincent sees something in that moment, sees what Bruce is really teaching, not just how to fight, but how to live together, how to respect differences, how to find common ground. It's a lesson Vincent's world desperately needs, but rarely gets. After class, Vincent approaches Bruce. "You're doing something important here," Vincent says quietly. "More important than you probably realize. These kids, from all different backgrounds, they're learning to work together, to respect each other. The world needs more of that." Bruce bows respectfully. Everyone has something to teach. Everyone has something to learn. When we recognize that, when we approach each other with respect instead of fear, amazing things become possible. Vincent leaves without another word. But from that day forward, whenever anyone in his organization suggests using violence against the Chinese community, Vincent asks one question. "Did you talk to Bruce first?" Usually Bruce finds a peaceful solution. The arrangement becomes legendary in New York's underworld. A story told in hushed tones about the time Bumpy Johnson went to war with the Genovese family over a Chinese martial artist. Except it wasn't a war. It was a negotiation. It was two powerful men recognizing that some things matter more than territory and tribute. That honor and respect can create stronger alliances than fear and violence ever could. Word spreads throughout the city's criminal networks. Other organizations take note. If Bumpy Johnson and Vincent Gigante can find common ground, maybe old feuds don't have to be eternal. Maybe there's another way. Bruce Lee becomes an unofficial mediator in disputes that cross ethnic lines. A Chinese gang has beef with an Italian crew? They bring it to Bruce first. A black numbers runner has trouble with Irish bookies? Bruce facilitates the conversation. He never takes sides, never shows favoritism. He simply creates space for people to talk, to understand each other's perspectives, to find solutions that don't involve bloodshed. It's exhausting work, dangerous work. But Bruce believes in it, believes that if he can help prevent even one unnecessary death, it's worth it. One evening, after a particularly difficult mediation session between rival gangs, Bumpy finds Bruce sitting alone in his school, looking tired. "You okay?" Bumpy asks. "Just tired," Bruce admits. "Sometimes I wonder if any of this makes a difference. For every conflict I help resolve, 3 more spring up. It feels like trying to empty the ocean with a teaspoon." Bumpy sits down next to him. "Let me tell you something I learned a long time ago. You can't save everyone. You can't fix every problem. But every person you help, every conflict you resolve, that matters. Not because it changes the world, but because it changes that person's world. Marcus was headed down a bad path. You changed his trajectory. That one kid. And now he's going to help others. That's how change happens. Not all at once, one person at a time. Bruce nods slowly. You're right. I know you're right. It's just, sometimes the weight of it feels heavy. That's because you care, Bumpy says. The day you stop feeling that weight is the day you've lost something important. Stay tired. Stay heavy. It means you're still human, still fighting for something that matters. They sit in comfortable silence for a moment. Two men who have become unlikely friends, drawn together by circumstance and united by shared values. Thank you, Bruce finally says, for that night, for standing up for me when you didn't have to, for finding a solution that saved lives. I never properly thanked you. You don't need to thank me, Bumpy says. You'd have done the same for me. Actually, you did do the same for me. You saved Marcus. That's my blood, my family. There's no debt here, just two men who recognize honor when they see it. Years later, after Bumpy Johnson has passed away in 1968, after Bruce Lee has become an international superstar and moved to Hong Kong to make the films that will make him a legend, people will tell stories about the time Bumpy Johnson saved Bruce Lee from the Italian mob. But those who know the real story understand it wasn't about saving. It was about respect. It was about two men from different worlds recognizing honor in each other. It was about standing up for what's right, even when it's dangerous. It was about the complicated truth that good and evil aren't simple categories, that people contain multitudes, that the gangster can be honorable and the martial artist can be practical, that sometimes the most unlikely alliances are the strongest because they're built not on convenience but on genuine mutual respect. And when people ask those who were there, who witnessed it, what the most important lesson was, they always give the same answer. The most important thing wasn't that Bumpy protected Bruce. It was why. He did it because Bruce had helped someone Bumpy loved. Because Bruce had operated with honor. Because protecting Bruce was the right thing to do. And sometimes, doing the right thing matters more than doing the smart thing. Sometimes, honor matters more than survival. That's what both men understood. That's what made them legends. The story endures because it speaks to something fundamental about human nature. The desire to be seen, to be respected, to be treated with dignity regardless of background or circumstance. Bruce Lee and Bumpy Johnson, a Chinese martial artist and a black gangster, found common ground in a city that tried to keep them separate. And in doing so, they showed everyone watching that the lines we draw between people, the categories we use to divide, are artificial. That honor and respect transcend race, background, and circumstance. That's the real legacy, not the violence that was prevented, but the understanding that was created. Not the lives that were saved that night on Canal Street, but the lives that were changed in the months and years that followed. Because when people see two powerful men from different worlds treating each other with genuine respect, it opens possibilities. It challenges assumptions. It makes people ask, if they can find common ground, why can't we?